One of the things that I think gets to me a lot, which excites me a lot about a thriller, is the way the subtleties of each character are built up until the end. Because I think what makes a good thriller is not something that just comes out of the blue at the end. There need to be certain subtleties in each character that once you go back, you realize, oh, there was that little hint there, there was that little hint there. What excites you the most? What excites you the most about, of course, Poison 2, but of course also playing a character in which you have to sort of go along with the twists and turns? What excites you the most as an actor about that?
Well, like you rightly said, it's a fact that when you feel you can predict something in a script, you can't. Like, even like, for example, when I was hearing the script from the writers, I thought I had to figure it out, somewhere down the line in the narration, but I was completely wrong, because every time I thought that, I know what's going to happen, these guys proved me wrong. And that was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm the way you guys have written it, there are so many turns and twists in the plot and in the characterizations. And, like, again, you correctly put that every time you feel you've got each character figured out, you have to go back and see there were these small little hints that were given, and then you have to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And that really excited me, because that's the way the screenplay has been written, that you have to really pay attention to what's happening, because everything is interconnected. It's one of those screenplays which unfold at its own pace, and that's the beauty of it. So that is one thing that really hooked me up, and I said I have to do something like this, because it was something that I was searching for. It's an action thriller, a genre that I personally enjoyed and loved as an audience, and I've always loved it as an actor, but I got very few opportunities to do that in my career. And I was very fortunate and grateful that I got something like this in my digital debut with Poison Season 2. And with regards to the character that I'm playing, it's Aditya Singh Rathore, who is this very mysterious guy who comes from nowhere, and he's out to take revenge and to people who have wronged him in the past. And the fact that he's mysterious and you really don't know who he is and why he's here, and why does he want to take revenge, and why is he doing what he's doing, is what really excited me about the character. And it's a really strong character. He's young, he's charismatic, he's brave, he's ruthless at the same time. And although he has a very soft face, I can assure you that he's not at all like what he looks. He's very deceptive, and that's the beauty about playing a character like this, where you actually get to perform. A lot of people said, yeah, he's he's got a soft face, he's a chocolate boy image, and this and that. And then comedy started happening in my career as well. So then they kind of didn't put me in that, didn't perceive me to be that, to look like that. But then I got this opportunity, and I've done my best and hoped that it has created some impact, where I can deceive people. And like you saw the trailer, there's a lot of deception in the trailer and in the show. So yeah, I hope people watch it.
As you rightly said, when you have a face like yours, again, I remember Must and completely falling in love with the movie. I think I watched it maybe 30 or 40 times along with my sister. And I remember watching it. And of course, there's a certain characterization when we look at, especially the 90s and early 2000s, 80s, there was a way a villain was supposed to look. There was a way a gray character was supposed to look.
Absolutely.
We've gone beyond that, which is, I'm thankful for that. Because anyone can sort of play a gray character, so to speak. What kind of things do you have to do? What kind of exercises do you have to undertake as an actor in playing with your face, maybe playing with your body language? What were some of the things that you did to make sure that the menacing or the deceptive nature in your character was coming out? Because you do have a face that does not seem to fit that mold, so to speak.
Yeah. So first of all, I would totally agree with you on something when you said that at that point of time, a hero had to look like a certain way, a villain had to look like a certain way, and then people were so used to seeing that nobody really went and thought out of the box. I did Kasoor, which kind of worked for me as my second film after Must, because that really changed the way a lot of people looked at me and perceived me, because they said, okay, there's this guy who's just played Must, and he's this innocent looking, sweet boy. How has he done a cold-blooded murderer in his second film? And that won me a lot of praise as well. The film did well at the box office, and people's perception changed. But then the roles that I was getting offered were not similar to Kasoor. They were more similar to what I did in Must. And then I started accepting those films consciously, with no real strategy in place. I would have liked to do more action thrillers and more stuff like Kasoor, but there were not too many people who had the vision at that point of time. They kind of labeled me and put me in a box. But with regards to your question as to how does one really prepare to look menacing and try to look a certain part, like there's no way I can change my face.
Right.
This is how I look. This is how I am. I can adapt a certain body language. I can think menacing in my head. But most importantly, if the writing is not author-backed for your character, I can't do anything. So the writing was author-backed for Aditya Singh Rathore in Poison 2, where I could do things and get away with it because that's the way the characters perceive in the show. Like, for example, if I did the same thing in Mus, people would wonder, who is this lunatic? Why is he doing such crazy things? Because he's got that's not his character. So Aditya's character is like this. So he can afford to look menacing. He can afford to be menacing and get away with it because that's the need of the hour. So when you say preparation, I think it's the material that is given to me as an actor in terms of content, how I perceive it, how I decide to stand in a particular way in a shot, how I decide to use my hands, how I decide to use my face, how I decide to probably even internalize certain things. Like, you don't know what I'm thinking, and that's the best, because the moment I internalize, I'm this mystery element in your life. You don't know who I am, you don't know what I'm thinking, you don't know what I'm here for, you don't know what I'm going to do to you. And that's the best part about Aditya Singh Rathore, that he is unpredictable and he's ruthless, but he's got a soft face. And today, thankfully, we're in the age and era where these things are working. People, as in the audiences, are accepting reverse casting and reverse psychology, where you see a certain guy, but then there's so much of deception that you feel that he's not how he looks. There is something more to him behind the face. So I guess it's all you have to have the writing to support you.
Aftab, you've said in a number of interviews that the basis is revenge. And of course, revenge is something that audiences really enjoy and you yourself really enjoy. But what I find interesting is a lot of actors have said in interviews before, I've certainly gotten this vibe, that when they're playing a gray character, when they're playing a character in a revenge thriller, so to speak, it's kind of nice because they get to have almost an emotional outlet for their personal lives. What is it about playing this sort of character that works for you on a personal level? What do you find satisfying about it?
See, I personally believe there's a lot of gray. There's a bit of gray in all of us. All of us have a bit of gray. Nobody's all black and nobody's all white, right? We always have this gray shade to ourselves. And that becomes a kind of a way you can express yourself, because I think it's a tough one at the same time, because everybody who's committing a sin on camera or in the script, or who's doing something nasty or negative, doesn't mean that they are negative and nasty in real life. But there is always a part of them that's extended to the character. It's not sadism. It's not because I want to be sadistic, so I'm going to kill somebody, or I'm going to murder somebody, or I'm going to deceive somebody. There's always a part of you that's unexplored. I'm trying to make sense of how to put it articulately, because it's a very interesting question. And it's like when we play negative roles, we're not really negative in our real life. We're not the villain in real life. So I'm saying there is a part of everybody that is not negative, but is slightly gray. And I think one would use that aspect in your life and imagine that and copy paste it in your character in a way that the character would behave. Like, it may be your face and your demeanor and your personality, but the character is doing that. So you utilize some aspect of your gray shades and inculcate that in your character. I hope I've tried to make sense of what I've just said.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think what you're saying is you sort of extend whatever grayness you may have in your personal life, and all of us have those moments of being gray or of being dark, and you sort of use that and extend that into your character, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Because that's where the level of relatability would come from, would it not? Because
yes, absolutely. Yeah, because I'll see, if I'm faking it, people would know. If I'm trying to do something that is looking forced, that also people can pick up. The audiences are too smart. So the moment it doesn't look convincing, if I don't convince you, then I have failed. Either I failed as an actor, or I don't have that quality in me. to convince you that I can be negative or I can do something negative. So therefore, I would safely put it that we all have a bit of gray in ourselves, and it's how you take that and utilize that best to put it for the character that you play.
I think one of the things that is exciting about the digital medium is that we are seeing, first of all, a lot of actors who have not been coming on the big screen, so to speak, over and over and over again, as we have in the past sort of decade. We've seen the same actors do some of the bigger films. And one of the best things about digital series is we're seeing people like you coming back into our lives, and we're seeing a lot of different content. So we're seeing there's some space, of course, for some pot boilers. There's some space for comedy. We've seen some series that have come out that are out-and-out musical series. What is it about the digital platform as an actor that excites you the most at this time?
I think it's a combination of what you said plus a few more things, where a lot of talent as opposed to just the whole star system is being promoted. That's one space where talent is being appreciated. Like, you can be the biggest star of the country and your show doesn't do well, and at the same time you can be a complete nobody and a complete newcomer, and suddenly the show does well, you become a household name. So that is a medium, because that is in everybody's houses. It's everybody's phone, iPad, laptop. Everyone's got it on their palms. You don't need to go to the cinema to watch films or content. So I think that is one thing that is a great a boon for actors and filmmakers, for that matter, and writers, because they get to explore sides to themselves that they perhaps would have not got opportunities to on cinema, and it's there in everybody's home and everybody's palm, for that matter. So it's a great medium, for that matter, and it promotes talent. It doesn't really promote names all the time. It promotes genuine talent, and actors are casted purely for the talent. Of course, you have, like, as an actor, I do have a certain body of work, so that would help, because people do know me, actors like myself, etc. But at the end of the day, if I don't do something that people like, even on the web, if I don't do a character, I don't do a show that people like, then all the brand equity that I have accumulated in the past 21 years just is not, it's of no use, to be honest. So it is important that one does stuff that not only one is excited about, but also what people like yourself and the viewers will watch and they will like, and they can see you in other roles as well, which is exactly what I've done in Poison.
Last question, Aftab, because I know that you have so many more of these that you have lined up. But from Must to Abhay 2, how would you characterize your journey in terms of what has been the most rewarding part of your journey on a professional and personal level?
Well, I would say it's been 21 years. I started my career 21 years ago, and just recently I celebrated 21 years of me being an actor. It's been amazing. It's been enriching. I've grown so much. I've learned so much. I've had this amazing opportunity to work with so many amazing people, like, directors, producers, actors, technicians. I've had the good fortune of doing so many films. Most importantly, I've gained so much of love and appreciation from the audiences, which is what actually kept me going more than anything else. And I've always maintained that I think it's because of them that I'm here, and it's always because of them that I will be here. I always aspire to get their appreciation and their love, because that's why we work. We work to get their love and appreciation and blessings. So it's been an amazing journey. I think even though I have done a fair body of work, I have a fair body of work, I don't think I've even started. If you ask me, I believe there's a lot more of myself that I need to explore and give back to my audiences. And I know there are a lot of people who write to me on social media saying that we want to see you more and we want to see more of you in films and whatever. But I just want to tell them that I can't be more grateful for all the love that I've received in the past 21 years. And I can only assure them that I will do much more work as much as I can do, and give back to them what they have given to me in the past 21 years.
Wonderful. Aftab, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. All the very best for Poison 2. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to much, much more from you. And good luck on this journey of fatherhood with Nevaeh, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Yes.
So all the very best. And thank you so much for chatting with me. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much, Armin, and hope you guys watch the show and enjoy it.
Yes, for sure. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.